Sanford City Commission for Monday, January 13th, 2025. First order of business is our legislative prayer by Pastor Ethan Crowder of Central Church, followed by Pledge of Allegiance. Everyone, please rise.
You pray with me. Father, we are grateful for today. We're grateful for our city and for our city leadership. Lord, we pray that you would bless this meeting. Your word tells us that anyone who lacks wisdom, ask and you will give it. And so, Lord, we pray that you would give our leaders wisdom and grace as they lead us this evening and in the days ahead. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you, Pastor.
I'll just go without. It's not in. Okay. Sorry about that. Have some technical issues going on. We have, first of all, recognize that our school board member, Robin Dellinger, is in the audience. Thank you for being here with us. I have a couple of proclamations. Oh, this is the one I can never pronounce the word right.
Anesthetist.
Anesthetist. That's the one I can't pronounce right.
And Mike Tran is here for that one.
Okay. Mike Tran, come on up. Certified Registered Nurse Anesthetists, CRNAs, are advanced practice registered nurses, providing anesthesia care to patients in the United States for more than 150 years. CRNAs are among the nation's most trusted professions. Whereas legislation passed by Congress in 1986 made nurse, anesthetist, and anesthesiologist the first nursing specialty to be accorded direct reimbursement rights by Medicare. Whereas CRNAs are primary anesthesia providers in rural and underserved communities and continue to be the primary providers of anesthesia care to U.S. military personnel. And whereas CRNAs practice in every setting in which anesthesia is delivered, from traditional hospital surgical suites and obstetrical delivery rooms to critical access hospitals, from ambulatory surgical centers to the offices of dentists, podiatrists, ophthalmologists, pain management specialists, and more. And whereas CRNAs are qualified to make independent judgments regarding all aspects of anesthesia care based on their education, training, and licensure. And whereas CRNAs are trusted anesthesia experts on the front lines, caring for patients safely and compassionately, delivering specialized care, cost-effective care to all patients, from newborns to seniors, for every type of procedure in all types of facilities. And whereas CRNAs experience in critical care nursing, in addition to anesthesia care, provides the training and education to address unique healthcare challenges of some of our sickest patients, including veterans. Now, therefore, I, Art Woodruff, by virtue of the authority vested in me as the mayor of the city of Sanford, Florida, do hereby proclaim the week of January 19 to 25, 2025, as Certified Registered Nurse Anesthetist Week. Sorry for butchering that.
Thank you. Thank you. First, thank you to Mayor Woodruff, the Sanford City Commissioners, and the City of Sanford for recognizing 2025 National CRNA Week. National CRNA Week is a week that helps the community recognize the profession that administers the vast majority of anesthesia in the City of Sanford and across the United States. If you've delivered a baby with anesthesia via an epidural or via C-section, or have had your first or 10th colonoscopy with anesthesia, or have had your knee or hip surgically replaced, or any other major or minor procedure, it's very probable that CRNA was administering your anesthesia, easing your anxiety, eliminating your pain, and making sure the most important thing happened, which is that you safely waked up from your procedure. The acronym CRNA is actually short for Certified Registered Nurse Anesthetist. It's actually a board-certified credential that came into existence in 1956 and earned after going through on average over 10,000 hours of critical care experience, clinical training, and didactic education. The CRNA profession originated over 160 years ago with heroic nurses serving on the battlefields of the Civil War, saving injured soldiers. In the year 2025, we practice in locations such as labor and delivery, cardiac surgery, pediatrics, and everywhere else anesthesia is needed in the great city of Sanford. I humbly accept this proclamation on behalf of my colleagues who couldn't be here today because they're still in the hospital working on their primary job, which is to deliver all anesthetized patients safely back to their loved ones. Thank you again to the City of Sanford and its leadership for recognizing our amazing profession.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And the next one is for MLK Day, and we have some representatives from our MLK Steering Committee. If you could join me, please. Whereas Dr. Martin Luther King devoted his life to advancing equality, social justice, and opportunity for all, and challenged all of us to participate in the never-ending work of building a more perfect union. And whereas after 15 years of attempts, Dr. King's birth date was recognized as a federal holiday with the signing of a bill by President Ronald Reagan on November 2, 1983, with the first holiday being celebrated in 1986. And whereas Dr. King believed immensely in the power of individual action, preaching in one of his last sermons, everybody can be great because anyone can serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love, and you can be that servant. And whereas inspired by King's life of service, on August 23, 1994, President Bill Clinton signed the King Holiday and Service Act, designating the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday as a day of service, a day on, not a day off. And whereas while we celebrate the gains of the civil rights movement over the years, we recognize there are still goals to be pursued in our continuing commitment to achieve Dr. King's dream of justice in our society. And whereas while we celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. King this weekend through the many activities of the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Steering Committee, and as we seek to honor Dr. King through our service, we look forward to the future with optimism, inspired by Dr. King, and as a community, rededicate ourselves to keeping his dream alive through our words and actions. Now, therefore, I, Art Woodruff, by the virtue of the authority vested in me as the mayor of the city of Sanford, Florida, do hereby proclaim January 20, 2025 as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Does the rest of the commission want to come up?
Sure.
While we're waiting, this is my daughter.
We're waiting for the rest of the commission. He's getting out fast.
All right, 1, 2, 3, beautiful picture, beautiful smile. Okay, you hold that, please. Come on. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Spokesperson.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the commission, Mr. Bonaparte, Mr. Group, and each and every one of you for your contribution for helping us be able to make our 5 events in 4 days an awesome event for all of us. Just a little story, and I'll pass the mic back. Back in 1978, I had a chance to enroll in the United States Army. And I traveled all over the country, and then I went over the world. But as I was thinking about somewhere to call home, I couldn't think of anywhere better than Sanford, Florida. And I made my way back here, and somehow or another got myself involved in all kinds of stuff. But at the same time, it's been very productive. It's been very rewarding. And as I look at each and every one of you out there, the one thing I like the most about Sanford is that it offers an awesome opportunity for those that are coming here for the first time to be able to know what we all know. Sanford is a great place to live, and I sincerely mean that from my heart because of all of you. So on behalf of the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Steering Committee, we thank you. We ask you to come and engage with us. On Friday night, we are going to have an oratorical contest at Seminole State. We have 8 young people that are going to be reciting an oration for about 6 minutes. On Saturday night, we have a sold-out banquet at Sanford Civic Center. On Sunday, we have an interfaith service at New Bethel Missionary Baptist Church in Georgetown. And on Monday, we have the biggest, best parade anywhere in Central Florida, right down historic Goldsboro Boulevard. And after that, over in Heritage Park, we're going to have a festival. So do come out and get some food, have some fun, and enjoy the place where we live, where we work, where we worship, and where we play. Thank you.
Did I mention that's my daughter? Hey, is that your daughter?
Okay. I tried rebooting too, so we'll see. I gotta wait for it to come on. We'll see. If not, I'll get by. Okay, so that brings us to the minutes from the December 9, 2024 work session and regular meeting. There were a couple of changes. One was sent out. What was the first one?
First one was that you appointed yourself to TDC.
No, there was one before that. There's one.
The one that I.
Yes, the one. Okay, but it was put into the minutes?
Yes.
Okay. And then as they're written, there are 2 changes that I requested to clarify that when I was making the appointments that I would be on the Tourist Development Committee. And then the other was that our goals session is goals for the commission and the city, not the city manager goals. All right.
Tourist Development Council.
The council or committee?
Council.
Okay.
Council.
All right.
Move to approve as amended.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passed unanimously. It's a consent A through R, unless anybody wants to pull anything.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot something. We got back up. I forgot the whole talking part. Okay. To facilitate public input, if you plan to speak on an item, please complete one of the yellow citizen input forms that you'll find in the back of the room and submit those to the clerk. We'll also ask you to state your name and address for the record before speaking. The public will be given an opportunity to speak on any item before the City Commission during a regular meeting. I will ask if anyone has any comments on the consent agenda. During public hearings on each item, there will be an opportunity to speak. And during regular items, if you have not filled out a yellow form, raise your hand when we get to that item, and you will be recognized. There's a 3-minute time limit for each speaker. At the end of the meeting is citizens' participation, where individuals may address the commission on any topic, and there's a 5-minute time limit on that. Starting with our next meeting, that citizens' participation time will be moved to between public hearings and regular items. So now, did anyone have anything they wanted to see, any comments on the consent agenda? Okay, so now can we get our motion again?
Move to approve?
Second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passed unanimously. Okay, I would like to deviate a little bit. At our last meeting during consent, we made a modification to the Sanford Avenue block party request. Greg Bacora is here to talk about that, and I wanted to go ahead and bring that up now.
Good evening, Happy New Year. I'm Greg Pecora, owner of Wapsop Brewing Company. We made a request for the Sanford Avenue block party. You all approved our request with the exception of February, and I'm here to answer any questions. The request is for February 22nd, which is the same day as Porch Fest. That is a very profitable day for us. We plan on having the street closure with no vendors. The reason, first of all, I'm also speaking on behalf of my business, Wapsop Brewing Company, Throwbacks, The Artery, The Apothecary, and El Zocolo Mexican restaurant. Our businesses cannot handle the amount of people that we get on that day. So the street closure, we would be able to serve food out onto the street with the street closure. That will help us maximize profit for that day.
Greg, are you planning to have a band?
So presently we are not. The idea is to have safe service outside.
Mm-hmm.
If I have a band, it will be in my my beer garden. Presently, I think it's too short of a notice to have a band on the street with a stage, so I would say no.
Okay. One of my concerns that I had was that that street is shut down earlier that day, and then there's music all day long, and the residents, whether they want to participate or not, are all involved in the street closures, the massive traffic that's there, as well as the music. So we were hoping that after the grand finale that they have in Centennial Park, that the party would just shut down. And then I was informed that you all will be going on afterwards, after that. So I just think that that's a lot of noise for those residential residents to have to deal with for that long of a time. But if you're not having a band, I don't see why not. And I do understand that that's profitable with that many people, that traffic that's coming through there. So I mean, it's up to the commission, but if we could limit the noise that's there so those residents can go, you know, about their business for the rest of the evening and kind of, you know, move on about their evening, I'm okay.
It's important that we're good neighbors. It's a lot of music that day and a lot of noise. I think it's the best thing to do is to limit the noise and not have a stage with more music.
Yeah.
I think we can have music in our own venues that we would normally have and not have it out in the street and limit the noise for our neighbors. I think that's fair to do.
What will be the signal for shutting down? Because normally it's the band stops playing and starts breaking down, right? What will be the signal that it's time to clear the streets?
The clock. I mean, would you tell us, you know, 10 o'clock, we shut it down, we shut it down.
Well, is it 10 or 11? It's a normal.
The request is only until 10 o'clock, and we'll have police officers there, and the road will be closed. So the officers can inform as well as, and if they're selling alcohol and food outside, they'll start going in, and they'll want people to go, the remaining people to actually go inside their businesses.
That's sort of always been my push is, you know, at 10 o'clock, let's get people inside.
Yes, sir.
Not send them home, but bring them inside.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So we'll bring this back to the next commission, or are you altering last month's?
I think we can we can make a motion now, can't we? Yeah, we can handle it now.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Any other comments or motion?
So we are, I just want to make sure that we're all clear on this, because I'm also concerned about after, Porch Fest is over, we've kind of, not that we want people to go home, but to start heading towards home. But if we're saying at 10 o'clock, that's when we're kind of saying the party is over. I just want that to be some clarification.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely need to end the day. It's a long day for all of us, especially in the hospitality, food. We're going to want to clean up and shut her down.
Okay. Anybody else? Does somebody want to make a motion?
Move to approve.
I just want to introduce Jerry. Jerry's the general manager of the artery here as well.
Of what?
The yarder.
Oh, okay.
Artery on 4th Street.
Okay.
So the Porch Fest does bring a lot of business to us, and we're more the family restaurant kids. So we do close down early. We do have a band on that night, but in our building. But we do get a lot of the crowd when they leave. So it would be very profitable for all of us, I think, on Sanford Ave. We'll close down at 10.
But the yardery gets kind of loud too. With their band, I know because I frequent it. I don't go in and say, hey, I'm Commissioner Britton, but it does get kind of loud. That's my only thing. I appreciate that there won't be a band on the outside. I'm just trying to kind of limit the noise because I don't want this to negatively affect Porch Fest in the future too, for residents to say, I don't want this anymore because the party just goes on too long. So I just I'm trying to get some clarification that we'll just kind of limit the noise. If you're going to have a band at the yardery, then you might as well have one on the street because that noise does carry not just into District 1, but heavily into District 2 as well. So that's my concern. I don't want to take away that foot traffic from you all. I don't want to take that revenue, but I also want to think about the future of the events that we're having in these residential neighborhoods. So if, you know, I don't know what kind of band that they're having there, but that noise really does carry at the yardery.
Every weekend, our band, they end at 10. So they won't go past 10.
Okay.
All right. All right. So we had a motion. Did we have a second? I don't think we had a second.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Passed unanimously. Brings us to public hearings. First reading of ordinance 4812. Mr. Group.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, an ordinance of the City of Sanford relating to emergency management and the city's comprehensive emergency management plan, substantially revising, amending, and supplementing the provisions of Chapter 2, Article 7, Emergency Management, Division 2, Comprehensive Emergency Management Plan of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Sanford, City Code, providing for legislative findings and intent, providing for implementing administrative actions, providing for a savings provision, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, providing for codification and correction of scrivener's errors, and providing for an effective date. That's the ordinance by title, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission, City staff recommends that the City Commission approve ordinance number 4812 on first reading.
This is a public hearing. Anyone from the audience wish to speak to this item? See no one, I'll close public hearing. Bring it to commission for action.
Move to approve.
Second. Motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passed unanimously. Ordinance 4813, Mr. Group.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, an ordinance of the City of Sanford, Florida relating to the city-owned real property relating to the plat of Sanford Waterfront Catalyst recorded at Plat Book 83, pages 14 and 15 of the Public Records of Seminole County, Florida, repealing ordinance number 2017-4403 relating to the commonly referred to real property known as the Catalyst site, providing for legislative findings and intent, providing for attachments and incorporation of exhibits, providing for the taking of implementing administrative actions, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, providing for non-codification, and providing for an effective date. That's the ordinance by title, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission, the city staff and the administrative official recommend that the City Commission approve ordinance number 4813 on first reading.
This is a public hearing. Anyone from the audience wish to speak to this item? See no one, I'll close the public hearing. Bring it to commission for action.
Move to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I truly don't understand it though. Like, what are we saying? Help me understand what are we saying yes or no to?
Okay, what occurred in 2017 was the enactment of an ordinance which enacted/approved a development agreement between the city and Sanford Waterfront Partners. That development agreement is the zoning on the property. In order to clear title to the property for whatever you want to do, whether it's sell it to a developer, rent it to an entity, use it for your own, the city's own purposes, for a Florida Recreational and Development grant from the state, they all will need title cleared. We're going, and Chris Smith has been a stalwart and assisting in this matter, if not leading it, in clearing title issue by title issue by title issue to get title clean. What this ordinance will do is wipe clean the zoning on the property, so you start with a fresh tab. There's no development agreement still attached to the property.
Okay.
You have about 12 other more
Yeah.
related title issues that you will need to consider.
We're knocking them off one by one,
Okay.
I mean, basically, we're getting rid of anything somebody might object to if we sell the property.
Got it.
including the state government, if you want to use it for recreational purposes.
Okay. All right. So we had a motion and a second, I believe. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passed unanimously. Ordinance 4814, Mr. Group.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Ordinance of the City of Sanford, Florida, repealing the provisions of Article 2, Community Redevelopment of Chapter 74, Planning and Development of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Sanford, providing for legislative findings and intent, providing for attachments and incorporation of exhibits, providing for the taking of implementing administrative actions, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, providing for non-codification, providing for a savings provision, and providing for effective dates in various contexts. That's the ordinance by title, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission, the city staff recommends the City Commission approve ordinance number 4814 on first reading.
Okay, this is a public hearing. Anyone from the audience wish to speak to this item? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing, bring it to commission for action.
Move to approve.
Second. Motion and second. Any further discussion?
Yes. So this one now is relating to the Community Redevelopment, our CRA?
Yes, and want me to explain that to you?
Yes.
Okay, well, this has a twofold purpose. One is to do what we just talked about in terms of a title issue, because when you search the title to the catalyst site, wherever we're going to call it in the future, that's going to be changed, I suppose. The CRA itself, this community redevelopment plan itself, shows up as a title issue. So what this ordinance does is removes that as a title issue on the catalyst site property. The other part of the ordinance, though, is while we're at it, and Ms. Lindsay might want to add something, I don't know, this also wraps up the CRA. At some point in time, when the CRA sunsets, the city has a year under state law to wrap up all the programs and expenditures and all that. So this ordinance also does that too. It provides the city manager in directing the finance director to have authority to wrap up the CRA's activities after it sunsets.
But how does the title work with the CRA? I know we funded, they went through a grant process, but that was taken back. So explain the whole title thing, just so I know what we're approving.
In terms of the title part, there is a community redevelopment plan. It's a title document. So if pick a parcel, any parcel in the community redevelopment area, as of right now, the community redevelopment code, the community redevelopment plan applies to that property. Okay? Under state law, you cannot develop property contrary to a community redevelopment plan. So if I own, ignore the catalyst site, I own some other parcel in the community redevelopment area, I can't develop it except in accordance with the plan. This removes all that, because there will no longer be a plan. But the land records don't know that until you put something
Got
in
it.
the land records.
Got it.
Okay, there you
Okay,
go.
thank you, sir.
Mhm.
Do we have a motion and a second? We did,
Yes,
didn't we?
we do.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passed unanimously. Ordinance 4816, Mr. Groot.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. An ordinance of the City of Sanford, Florida, relating to unlawful conduct at city meetings or facilities or on city property or a city facility, and trespass warnings and related matters pertaining to the city facilities and property, enacting new provisions of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Sanford City Code, providing that it is prohibited and unlawful to engage in certain disruptive acts at or on city meetings or facilities or property, providing for and establishing a system relating to trespass warnings pertaining to public property, providing for enforcement, providing for penalties, providing for implementing administrative actions, providing for a savings provision, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, providing for codification and the correction of scrivener's errors, and providing for an effective date. And this is the ordinance I mentioned that there would be a proposed change to, which all it does, and I'll pass it out.
Can I make a quick correction?
Sure.
Mr. Mayor, you said this was 4816. My
15.
thing says it's 15.
It's 15.
16 is next.
Oh, I skipped one.
Yeah.
Did I read the wrong order?
No,
No, I just checked one too many times.
Yeah. I just wanted the record clear.
Thank you, Mr.
I
Groot.
checked when we had a motion, and then I checked
And I
again.
also want the record clear that the boss is not going to be happy with you not being able to pronounce those medical terms.
And that's just.
You know, and one of those worked on me not long ago.
Okay, so what that amendment does is just make certain that it's clear that the provisions of this ordinance don't affect what is commonly referred to as the anti-camping ordinance. Those are two separate things. This ordinance relates to disruptive, threatening, or whatever conduct at city hall, city facilities, so that the city can have a process to say, you've threatened city staff, you've threatened the city commissioner, you've acted unruly, you can't be here for a time period, and provides a process to appeal that. And unfortunately, it's necessary.
It's a
There
bit
have been
much, though.
occurrences recently where that type of situation has occurred, and under the law, you just can't stand at the door at City Hall and say, you can't come in because we don't like you or we think you're threatening. You actually have to have a process, and this provides that process. And it's a shame in our society these days that we have it, but that's the way it is.
But this individual can still come and express their First Amendment rights even after they've been trespassed according to this?
No. If you threaten the city commissioner, for example, and you're a threat, then you can be trespassed from City Hall.
Mhm.
There's other ways to express yourself.
But the section that says the city manager may authorize an individual who has received a trespass warning to enter the property.
That's true.
To exercise his or her First Amendment rights.
An opportunity to seek that grace, that relief.
Okay.
And also, it also provides the city manager to say, I'm going to let that Henri Lonnie Groot in tonight to speak his piece,
Oh, no.
but ask Police Chief Smith to have maybe some folks looking at me.
Ready to pounce.
Ready to pounce. And that's unfortunate, Chief Smith,
Okay.
but it's true these days. Yep. And there have been city employees that have faced the type of conduct that this ordinance aims at. And this does not affect the other ordinance, which relates to the anti-camping situation.
I know that this is important, but in section 2 on page 3, I think it's a little much though, because it's saying that it's unlawful to whistle, make noise, yell, stomp your feet. I mean, I do understand the obscene gestures, the profane language, but I mean, just about at every meeting we have somebody yelling. That does not mean that it's right, but we are.
Well, I
To
mean,
say
I'm
that
not
it's
going to argue, I don't want to
unlawful.
argue with you, but that's why you have a presiding officer as the mayor or a planning and zoning chairman or whatever, because that has happened before, and the mayor has said, you need to stop. That has happened to me as a special magistrate. Let me use myself instead of the mayor. I was a special magistrate in Palm Coast. Somebody was really, really offensive in the audience. I told him 3 times to stop. Ultimately, I said, if you don't, I'm going to get they had a deputy there protecting me because of, I said, I'm going to have the deputy come. And the deputy came and said, sir, stop, or I'm going to arrest you. The man then said the famous words you should never say to a law enforcement officer, go ahead. But the point is that I gave that person 3 chances. The mayor does similar things here. Every chair I've ever seen of any board here has said, sir, ma'am, you just need to calm down. But if they don't calm down, that's their choice that they took the mayor's choice or the presiding officer's choice away. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so this is that the I guess to say the protection order, but it doesn't mean that it's unlawful to yell. But if there is, when you've had to warn someone or they have to be removed, we have this ordinance in place.
Like speeding, it's unlawful to speed, but not every speeder is enforced. It's unlawful to whistle, but if you whistle once and the mayor says stop, you whistle again, the mayor says stop, and you keep whistling and acting in an obstructive, disrespectful way, the mayor can say, please, Chief Smith, would you please handle this? And then do a trespass also. I mean, it's,
So it wouldn't be sufficient to say this is prohibited?
well,
I think
those are words of, those are terms of art. Prohibited doesn't necessarily mean it's unlawful. It can, but then you have to explain to a judge. Judge, prohibited means unlawful. Why? It's easier just to say it's prohibited and unlawful because then the answer to the question is because it says so. You know, so I always try to make things very simple for judges. They like it that way.
I was going to say the way I interpret this is go back to the first sentence. It's prohibited and unlawful to engage in disorderly, disruptive, disturbing, delaying, or boisterous conduct. Now, is your stomping feet, whistling, making noise, profane language, gestures, yelling, is that disorderly, disruptive, disturbing, delaying, and boisterous?
That's correct. You read it together.
So you do it once, it's annoying. If you are keeping us from doing business, it's unlawful.
Well said.
And Mayor and Commissioners, I think this is where the city clerk and I had, I think the original version had clapping in here, and we decided that that should come out.
It's all a matter of
Correct.
interpretation.
Yeah.
Because I could be whistling Dixie and be all happy about it, and I don't think you're going to throw me out for that. Or I could be applauding somebody. But clapping, that's another matter of interpretation, because people have been known to disrupt meetings by clapping.
Right. It comes down to, is it disruptive?
I agree.
Anything else?
No.
Did I ask for public comment on this one? Is there
I don't
anyone in
think
the
so.
audience wishes to speak to this item? Did you do your part?
Mayor, members of the City Commission, City staff recommends City Commission approve ordinance number 4815 on first reading.
Okay. All right, so this is a public hearing. Anyone in the audience wish to speak to this item? Consider we've already had our discussion. Okay, then I'll close the public hearing and bring it to commission for action.
Move to approve.
Second?
Okay, motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passed unanimously. Now ordinance 4816, Mr. Groot.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. An ordinance of the City of Sanford, Florida, amending the provisions of Section 2-7 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Sanford City Code relating to the protection of sensitive communications and materials relative to city operations, programs, projects, and activities, providing for legislative findings and intent, providing for implementing administrative actions, providing for a savings provision, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, providing for codification and the correction of scrivener's errors, and providing for an effective date. That's the ordinance by title, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission, City staff recommends the City Commission approve ordinance number 4816 on first reading.
Okay, and this is a public hearing. Anyone from the audience wish to speak to this item? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing, bring it to commission for action.
Move to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passed unanimously. Ordinance 4817, Mr. Groot.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. An ordinance of the City of Sanford, Florida, providing for the rezoning of a parcel of real property totaling approximately 6.91 acres in size located at 275 Mish Road and assigned tax parcel identification number 26-19-30-5AE-3300-0000 by the Seminole County Property Appraiser, which property is located within the city limits. Map of the property is attached, to modify land use and design standards for the Orlando Steel Plan Development, PD, and establish the Mish Park PD, providing for findings and intent, providing for the taking of implementing administrative actions, providing for the adoption of a map by reference, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, providing for non-codification and the correction of scrivener's errors, and providing for an effective date and potential reversion. And that's the ordinance by title, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission, on December the 5th of 2024, the city's Planning and Zoning Commission, consistent with the recommendation of city staff, voted to recommend the City Commission adopt an ordinance rezoning 6.91 acres to modify land use and design standards for the Orlando Steel PD and establish the Merck Park PD, a proposed mixed-use multifamily with 124 units and commercial development at 275 Mersch Road to be consistent with the comprehensive plan. The Planning and Zoning Commission shall conduct a public hearing to determine if the zoning is consistent with the goals. It is the following conditions are included in the development order.
This is a quasi-judicial process, and as such, commissioners must disclose all ex parte communications, including the name of the communicator and the time, place, and substance of the communication. Written communications, commissioners' investigations, site visits, and receipt of expert opinions must also be disclosed and made part of the record. Persons who have an opinion contrary to those expressed in ex parte communication may refute or respond to the communication at the hearing when they make their presentation. In a quasi-judicial process, parties to the proceedings are generally the city and the applicant. Others who have legal standing to appeal the decision can also request to be recognized as a party. Parties are subject to cross-examination and must give their testimony under oath. Persons do not have to be a party to the proceedings to be recognized and provide comments. Members of the public who wish to make comments are not subject to cross-examination and are not sworn in as evidentiary witnesses. Comments of the public that provide facts relevant to the application are considered in the decision. Qualifications of the city staff are part of the agenda materials. All testimony and evidence provided to the City Commission must be competent, material, and substantial under Florida law. A guide to quasi-judicial hearings has been published on the city's website, and copies are available at the table in the back of the chambers. And so, I need anyone who is a party to this, which is our city staff, and is the applicant here? Okay. Did you want to be sworn as a party? Did you want to be sworn in for testimony? Okay, if you could please rise and state your name. Okay. Okay, do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you are about to give in the matters now at hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay, thank you. All right, are we starting with staff? I do have some questions. Okay. I just had two quick questions, and we're probably going to bring up the applicant to actually answer them.
Okay.
But
Sounds fair. Good evening. I haven't been up here yet tonight, so I thought I'd say good evening. Okay, what can I do?
My two questions were about open space.
Okay.
Because I had a hard time with the map, the size of the map, and being able to see what was going on. So with open space at only 28% of the entire site, I believe is what it is.
I do believe that is.
And we're okay with that when 50% is usually required for residential?
For residential, the goal of this PD, so I guess since I'm standing here, the original PD was adopted in '23. It was a complete industrial site. It was meant for a 50,000 square foot warehouse and then an 8,000 square foot second warehouse. In working with staff, the applicant decided to expand on the scope of the project and created this mixed-use project. So the open space on an industrial project is a lot less than that with multifamily. They have created some amenity space, but they've also created that actual mixed-use feel that we're trying to go for in the West Side Industry and Commerce, where the commercial is accessible to the residential. They've got the interconnectivity. They can share parking as need be. So given the other elements that they've provided for better design, the open space reduction was seen as acceptable to staff.
Okay, and speaking of amenities, I couldn't see what, if any, amenities there were.
I could let the applicant answer that
Okay,
one for you.
we'll have the applicant answer that.
Because as an assessment, Darren from our planning staff was the one who did the overall PD review. So for total numbers, I'll let the applicant answer that.
Okay. Any other questions for Ms. Henson at this time?
No.
Okay. If we could have the applicant come forward, please. Hi.
I just want to add that we are providing 28% on open space.
What?
28% of the entire area as an
Could
open
you
space.
state your name and address, please?
Aldo Mejias with Avcon Engineering, 5555 East Michigan Street, Orlando, Florida.
Okay, so what amenities will the apartments have?
So we're providing a dog park, a playground area, and an open space area with benches and for recreational purposes. We're providing a sidewalk around the pond for recreational purposes as well. A deck in the middle of the pond for the same use, and we also have we're providing a gym and indoor facilities as well for recreational purposes.
All right. Do we have a plan that you can put up? Okay, so the inside, I guess that's a courtyard? Is that what that is?
Where on the north of the building? I mean, that's
Yes.
correct. Yeah, that's like a courtyard.
Okay, is that hardscape, or is that going to be,
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
okay.
Mostly.
Those are the things I couldn't
pervious
read on
area
my
out
plans.
there.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions for the applicant while he's up?
You said there was a dog park?
Correct.
What's the space of that, dimensions?
Should be on the data table. I mean, the total amenities provided is 24,000 square feet, so that includes the dog park. At this point, we don't have that area. Because in terms of square footage, we don't have it, shown on the plans, but.
So that could be a tiny little rectangle with a fence around it.
Well, yeah, it would be fenced off, but it's right there, next to that lower rectangle to the right of it. Right there. Yeah, I think it's like, it has a square footage, but it's hard to read. I think it's like 800 square feet or so. Yeah, it's hard to read. 3 digits, so.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll open it as a public hearing and then see if they need to come back up. This is a public hearing. Is anyone from the audience wish to speak to this item? Okay. Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing, bring it back to the commission for further comments or questions or a motion.
Yes, sir.
No, well, it's not in my district. We're just doing way too much development, and we're about to put a lot more apartments on 46. This is just, but I have no legal reason to deny it, but I am not for this.
Yeah, we don't have no legal reasons. Giving us everything we want. I move to approve.
Okay, so a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Agree, but can't.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passed unanimously. Okay, thank you. So the amendment of the Sanford Airport Authority's operating budget.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission, the city has received a request from the Sanford Airport Authority for them to increase their 2024-25 annual fiscal year budget and non-operating budget, increases of $980,890 and $225,000 respectively. This will be a compounded interest expand fund out of the restricted PFC revenue, and the assumption that any anticipated deficit will be funded out of unrestricted authority reserves, and staff recommends City Commission approve.
Questions or a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passed unanimously. Resolution 3329.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission, a recent title search related to the former Catalyst property, which the city owns, discern many site expectations and exceptions and encumbrances. City staff and the Assistant City Attorney are working diligently to clear up all the title issues pertinent to the former Catalyst site. It is therefore City staff recommendation, City Commission approve Resolution 3329.
Questions or motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, we're going to look a little silly if they discover oil under this
I
property
I know.
later on.
Or gold.
So, all right.
Let me take that motion.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passed unanimously. Resolution 3330.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission, city staff recommends the City Commission adopt resolution number 3330, providing for the city utility system and miscellaneous rates and fees. This has been discussed at previous City Commission meetings.
Okay. Questions or a motion?
Move to approve. Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passed unanimously. Resolution
Mr.
33.
Mayor, before moving on, I'd like to recognize that a lot of work went into this by a former city
that's right.
employee who's
And he's
still
here.
in the audience.
Yeah.
So for Bill Marcoux, I want to say thank you for, although he retired, he wanted to make sure he saw this to the finish line, so he did attend today's meeting. Also, we have representatives from Mertalis here, so we do want to thank them for it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bill.
Good seeing you, Bill. Resolution 3331.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission. Staff is requesting the approval of resolution number 3331, urging and encouraging the Florida legislature to enact legislation to provide a public records exemption for municipal clerks and employees who perform municipal elections work or have any part of code enforcement functions of a municipality. And it is the staff's recommendation City Commission adopt resolution number 3331.
Questions or a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passed unanimously. Resolution 3332.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission, staff is requesting approval of resolution number 3332, approving the grant to the City of Sanford arising from the United States Department of Justice, Federal Fiscal Year 2024, the Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Grant Program. These funds will be used to produce forensic equipment which will enhance the police department's evidence technicians' capabilities.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passed unanimously. Resolution 3333.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission, staff is requesting approval of Resolution 3333 to amend the fire department budget and approve two memorandum of understandings, agreements between the Sanford Professional Firefighters, Local 3996. This motion will look to make our fire department firefighter salaries comparable with other fire department.
Commissioner Austin, a motion or question?
Move to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any
You got
further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passed unanimously. We have a request from Ms. Lindsay to come address an issue.
Don't tell us we're broke.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. As you know, you get a set amount of money to spend for donations or whatever you choose to use it for. And we have some 2024 items that Commission had give as donations to organizations, and the organizations have never billed us. So my question to you on these donations is whether you want the money to go back into your pot, or if you want to seek after the organization and have them bill us. And so I just wanted to go over them with you really quick. Commissioner Austin and Mahaney donated money to the Young Women's.
Young Women of Excellence.
Yes, excellence. Of 500 and 250. They've never billed us for that. So I don't know if you want to get with them or if you just want to send it back to your pot.
Can you help make that happen? Do you know who's in charge?
I'll
of that?
call.
Okay.
I'll take care of it.
Let's see if we can make that happen still, please.
And then Commissioner Britton and
Well, wait, because,
Commissioner Mahaney, I think would agree with that.
okay.
let her do that. What was the decision? I'm sorry.
That she would agree to pursue
Okay.
that.
And then
didn't
Commissioner
want-
Britton and Commissioner Wiggins donated 1,000 each to Outreach Mission. We've never received an invoice from them for that.
Just move that money to my
Put
account.
mine back into mine. Because we told them, that they needed to bill us, Chris, him, them.
I'm gonna still do what I call Chris tomorrow.
Okay. And then,
Let me ask you, how much was that with them for the Young Women of Excellence, so I know how much? they
it was
gave?
$750 total.
500 and 250.
Okay,
And then the Outreach Mission will be 1,000.
and then what?
The Outreach Mission will be 1,000.
And that's coming from, Commissioner Briggs?
No,
No,
sir.
yours.
Do not allocate my funds. No, thank you, thank you.
And then the Seminole High School Booster Club, Commissioner Wiggins, no, Commissioner Austin.
Oh,
Austin.
Commissioner Austin, $500. We've never been.
Okay, just let that go back.
Okay. And then the last two, Sanford Garden Yield, the 526. We've never received an invoice for that.
The Sanford what?
Sanford
The Guild.
Garden Guild.
Oh, that was for their use of the building, but I thought that they,
So there should be a transfer.
right.
Okay, I'll look at that, thank you. And then Commissioner Austin, it's the Sleep in Heavenly Peace
Okay, yeah.
for 5,000. I've never received
We
an
never,
invoice.
we never got that off the ground.
So put it back in your pot,
Yes, please.
and that was it.
Thank you.
How much was that for?
That was 5,000.
Oh,
You can share that.
Now, for the record, when she asked me about this, I said she should keep her mouth shut and just put it all in reserve.
Well, I'm glad you didn't do that. So how much do I have?
you need to do that on your tax.
Wiggins, you're keeping yours all the same, so it's the same amount. Oh, no, I didn't tell you, I was Commissioner
You got
Austin.
$5 left.
8,328.
Okay. So that's everything paid now, I got everything
Yeah.
paid. 'Cause I wanna do something tonight, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, 8,328.
You got $5.
Okay. Thank
Did
you.
anybody else need to know their balance?
Excuse me? Oh, anybody else wanna know?
That number you sent me earlier does not include these, right?
Right,
Okay.
so yours
Thank you.
would go up 5,500.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Cindy.
City Clerk's report.
Nothing to report.
Mr. City Attorney, comment.
Yes, just as I mentioned earlier today, I'd like to advise you that we're going to call a litigation strategy session on the Railside Loop, Railside LLC case and the Railside Loop Owner LLC cases for February 10th. And Dean Ringer will be present also.
Okay.
And the other thing I'd like to say is, I know Mr. Colbert would say it if he was here, but after 50-something years, and I don't know the exact number, that the Stenstrom Law Firm has been the city attorney. I know Mr. Colbert's going to have more to say about this, but after 50-something years, I can tell you something, that I've been honored to be with you guys. First time I appeared here, it was opposing, well, actually, I made a regular appearance here. It was about every meeting to oppose annexations when I was working for the county. I think I
When you were on the dark side.
We had
Went to the other dark side.
we had a nice relationship, but actually, anyway. But I've just been honored to be with you guys, and I know the firm has been honored to serve the city for over 50 years. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your lengthy, wordy emails will be missed.
You think I believe that?
And I'm just getting to know you, and now you're leaving. Fine.
We'll stay in touch, though.
I guess.
Well, you got to deal with this for a few more months. I'm sorry about that.
We can all go to the beach to visit them.
We'll make the most of it.
City manager's report.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission, just want to welcome you to 2025. We look forward to having a productive year. I will like to get with each of you and go over the performance evaluations that you provided for the city manager so that we have some moving forward motion. I also want to thank the law firm that's been representing the city of Sanford, and if the residents were here, that they have been the same law firm for over 50 years representing the city of Sanford. I have been at meetings with Mr. Colbert when he'll say, back in 19, and we did something. So it will be a loss of history when it's no longer the case. But again, I want to thank you, Mr. Colbert, and all the members of the law firm. So that is it, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
Thank you, Nord.
Right, and then we have 3 requests for citizens' comments. Shane Lillibridge.
Good evening, Shane Lillibridge, 801 South Bay Avenue, Sanford, Florida. I come to you today as the chairperson of the CDBG. Last month during our meeting, the board asked to have the city manager come to our next meeting, which is tomorrow night. We got an email at the end of the week, last week, letting us know he's not going to be able to make it. There are things that we discuss when we ask questions, we're not getting answers. That's why we asked for the city manager to be there, so we can get answers to these questions. He's not going to be there, so I invite you all to come to the meeting tomorrow night, see if we can get some answers to some of the questions that we've been asking for months. I don't know why, after a month, you can't make it. I thought that would be enough notice, but I guess not. But that's it. That's it. We would like you to please come to the meeting tomorrow night, 4:30, in this chamber, and just listen to what we have to say. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, members of the commission, staff has briefed me on the discussions that they've been having, and I've directed staff in terms of how to handle it, so there's no lack of continuity. Staff knows exactly what I would say.
Thank you. Christine Carter.
We'll realize that tomorrow when it goes on the record.
Yes,
Good
ma'am.
evening. Thank you for having me. Christine Carter, 849 East 20th Street, Sanford, Florida, 32771. I'd like to address the speed bumps that I'd like to see on East 20th Street between Logan Avenue and Mellonville. It's not getting any better. I was here, it's been a while since I've been here, but the only reason I haven't been back is because I got sick. I would have been back sooner. You have people just speeding down the street. They just zoom on by. And we have people pushing their children in strollers, taking their pets for a walk. You have bicyclists, and now you have the golf carts. And there are speed bumps all over Sanford. And on a 2-block road, I've seen speed bumps. And this is just for the safety of the people, you know, that live on East 20th Street at that particular spot. There's speed tables or bumps at the other end of 20th Street. That's it. Just for the safety of the public, and whatever kind of street you call it, it's a residential area. There's nothing there but residential homes. And I don't see why there can't be 2 speed bumps closer to Mellonville, because that's where there's nothing there. They have to stop at the railroad tracks and at Logan Avenue, and then there's just a straight-on way to Mellonville with nothing stopping anyone. Sorry, I wasn't more prepared for this to have more of my defense here, but just for the public safety and the fact that there's speed tables or bumps all over Sanford. And I'd like to see one on 20th Street where it's needed. Thank you.
And can you tell me again the area on 20th Street that you're requesting that it be considered?
Logan Ave, between Logan Avenue and Mellonville.
Where is Logan Avenue?
Well, if you're coming down 20th Street, past the little intersection there at Sanford and 20th, you're going towards Mellonville.
Okay.
It is the first, well, the stop sign. It's right over the tracks.
Locust.
And on the left.
Locust Avenue.
Locust.
Oh,
Okay.
what did I say?
Logan.
Logan?
Oh, yeah.
I
Locust.
tried that
Oh,
before.
I am so sorry.
Yeah, I've addressed that before, and we put the speed, we put the stop sign was added. We also put, the chief had the,
Electronic
the
signs.
traffic
study.
signal, and they had the ghost car that was there. There was specific reasons why we could not have speed bumps on that. I can't recall there, but our police did do their due diligence by that area. I do believe that there is heavy concern of speeding and traffic, but we could not put speed bumps on that road. But I do remember that was something that we addressed because we put that speed table out there, and then we rotated it throughout the city because we don't have a lot of those. And we had that stop sign that was there.
Yeah. Stop sign is just stop sign. I mean, somebody just ran through it the other day. I just happened to see it, and I have never seen that.
We can request that our police staff put that back out there, but we have to go by what
Put what back out there?
put police officers, in that area, or the sign there. But I do not believe, unless if something has changed, I'll have to get with our SPD. But there was a specific reason, and I think it was like the traffic goes back, and I'm not actually sure. But that was one of the first things we looked at when I became commissioner, was that road. And they did address it, but that does not mean that we cannot address it again. But there were specific reasons why we could not add speed bumps there.
I don't understand why.
I
It's like you put Band-Aids on it, putting up the electronic signs or the stop sign. And the police were there, not very often. They have other things to do also.
Go ahead.
But it's all Band-Aids. I mean, it'll get somebody's attention if they come up to some place where they have to slow down or, bump around in their car.
Are you able to get with?
Yes, it sounds like there was some attention given in the past, and I can get with the new Public Works Director, as well as the police chief is hearing the concerns regarding speeding, although I'm hearing that you say that when the police are there, it's not happening, and therefore that it's a need for something in addition to the police presence.
And can you get back with her?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Linda Barker.
Linda Barker, 3405 South Mellonville Avenue, Sanford, Florida. I'm speaking on behalf of the Orlando Christian Flying Club. We are based out of the southeast ramp at the airport, and since the city does control the finances of the airport, and I thought I'd bring something to your attention. And, oh dear. And that is, there's a company called Vector Airport System that is using ADS-B data to track flights in and out of the airports and sending landing fees to the aircraft owner without previous notice of said fees. So this company will probably eventually come to the city commission. So I wanted to give you a heads up. They just had a meeting, our Orlando executive. And I was told recently that, and these are private pilots, general aviation. We're not talking big commercial for-profit. We're talking flying clubs or like the local flight schools, or perhaps you might have a flight instructor who is helping train local pilots who hope to have a future. But can you imagine being billed like the camera when you go through the stoplight? But can you imagine being billed $15 every time you land, take off, land and take off? And when you are learning to fly an airplane, you have to practice. So this is something that's come up. It's got the aviation community pretty upset. So hopefully someone can give me a heads up and I can speak if it comes before the city. But this company is looking at, skimming a lot of revenue for aircraft that land at local airports. Does anybody have any questions of me?
Yeah, but it would probably come before the airport authority rather than us, and so I'll watch that also.
Okay, I wasn't sure, but I thought I'd take this opportunity. But it would really, really cripple general aviation. And someone recently was flying over an airport, not landing, flying over, like at 1,600 feet, and got a bill. Whoops, excuse me, and got a bill. So, all right, thank you very much, and it's good to see everyone again, and thanks for all your hard work.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience wish to speak to the commission? Okay, now close citizen participation. And commission, Commissioner Britton, anything?
I said I didn't have anything, but I do want to just add one small item. I've read over a couple of emails with the residents in District 1 over by 25th Street that are going through all of the construction. Mr. Bonaparte, I have seen some of the emails going back and forth. If you can, I guess if I can meet with you this week or just have a telephone call, if I can have a point of contact. I know that that's not the city of Sanford that's doing that. That's Florida Department of Transportation, but the noise is bothering the residents over in that area, and I want to be able to give a response. I saw an email today, and 2 or 3 other residents complained about it being late at night. I don't know exactly what we can do. I do know that that's temporarily, construction, sir, but it seems to be a nightmare there. So,
Did they copy me on the email?
Well, I don't know if they copied you. I do believe that they copied the commission. Today's email came from Ms. Huggins, Victoria Huggins, and then I've seen the emails back and forth with the police, with Ms. Lacey Laird. And I really don't know how to answer those questions.
Okay, so you could send me the emails and let me get back with you.
Yes, sir.
Have you seen any emails from Ryan, somebody, responding to them?
Yes and no. Some of those threads are.
Okay,
yeah.
so Ryan, I can't think of his last name. He's the first point of contact.
Mm-hmm.
But just so you know, the DOT secretary for District 5, which is this area, is also aware of it.
Okay.
Because I discussed it at Metro Plan,
Mm-hmm.
and those complaints had already gotten to him.
Okay, it has.
So,
all right. So then I'll knock on those doors and just I think it's just the communication to let them know that we are aware of the noise. It is temporary. There's not much we can do. And if I can have, if I can speak to Ryan myself via email or whatnot, and just find out from them. Again, I'm not sure what can be done. It's temporary. It's what we might have to deal with, but I do understand the frustration of the residents.
But I think the point that if they had been notified they were working that night was a good one.
Right. Okay. And regarding our commission funding, are we allowed to assist for city cost for events? If so, like I've done the the Juneteenth where I've sponsored the stage, if we're doing city costs, to assist with city costs for an event, are we allowed to contribute for that for a public purpose? I just want to clarify. If I want to contribute out of the District 1 fund for city costs, so let's say,
Yeah.
okay,
I mean,
I just wanted to make sure if that was,
I mean, that, when you've done the rentals and stuff.
yeah, but that's like paying for the building. I just wanted to
Okay.
clarify. Okay,
I think-
so I would like to take $1,000 out of the District 1 fund to help pay for city costs for the MLK event. There, the police and fire information has increased.
Right. Is there a second?
Second. I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Make sure you send an invoice. You won't get your money if you don't send an invoice.
And I need to borrow that purple jacket.
Something tells me they're gonna be right
You
on
done?
that.
Right.
All right, that concludes the District 1 report.
Okay, Commissioner Wiggins.
Ms. Lindsay, how much did you say I had now?
$82.
$5.
And 50 cents.
Okay.
$83.28.
What was I thought I had?
All right, so what I'm gonna do is, I got three things. I'm gonna go
I would be
ahead.
remiss if I didn't remind us this is taxpayer money.
I know, but I mean, I'm blessing folks in the community, man, come on. All right, so first, they just had the event, this past Saturday, and I couldn't vote on it, with the, I'm gonna give 1,000 to historic Goldsboro Main Street. That event was a great event. They had their first this past weekend, and it was great. Looking forward to many more things that they have going on. So that's 1,000 for them. Do I need to do all of them at once?
Is there a second?
The second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Passed unanimously.
Then the second group, the 4th annual Sanford Ride to Freedom, I'm going to give them $500.
Okay. Oh, we forgot to say for public
Yeah,
purpose?
say either one of those are public
Okay.
purpose.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Passed unanimously.
And then my last,
Excuse me, did you say 500?
yes. And then my last, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give 100 to MLK as well.
$100?
I said 1,000.
Okay.
I'm gonna give 1,000, so that's what. You're welcome. Thank you for saying that. And so,
For public purpose?
For public
Is there a
purpose.
second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Passed unanimously.
and then I want to thank a few folks. First of all, we did our annual toy giveaway, and Britt Henderson headed that up at West Side. I want to thank a few folks again, Public Works and Utilities. I want to thank the Police Department, Mr. Bonaparte, others that gave gifts, and we were able to give out 1,000 gifts that night to the community. The next day, I want to also bring attention in our food giveaway in partnership with Picnic Project. We gave out over 30,000 pounds of food to 400 plus families. So I want to thank you all for that. That's it.
Commissioner Austin.
Mine just went blank.
You want us to come back?
Yeah. I don't know if y'all are aware of a group called Christian Tech Center Ministries.
Mm-hmm.
Andre Class. He does a tremendous amount of good here in Sanford. He's given out many, many laptops at Summer High School to students that have needed them. And he recently set up the Rescue Outreach Mission in Goldsboro with new updated computers for their facility. And so I would like to, for a public purpose, give $1,000 to Christian Tech Center Ministries.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passed unanimously. Anything else?
That's it.
Commissioner Thomas?
I have to come back at a future meeting with who I want to give some money to, but
You don't
nothing
have
there
to.
yet.
You don't have to.
I feel left out
You don't
here.
have
Carrie will take it. Carrie will take it.
I know he won't take it. We'll talk about that next meeting. I actually wanted to just say that I had a wonderful 3-hour tour, not to be confused with an old TV show, with Brent And Brent Johnson of Public Works and Utilities gave me a tour of the entire operation. It was educational, fun, especially thanks to Cedric, who's always a hoot. And I really found it fascinating to follow from the time that water leaves your tap all the way through the process of where it ends up, how it gets treated, and the hard work that goes into trying to make sure that we have good water, good wastewater. I ran on that when I was campaigning, and it's still going to be one of my top issues. And the more I learn about what the city's doing, the more pleased I am, but the more I will continue to push them to continue doing that hard work, because I know it's a hard job that you have. We have customers that will complain about what they pay in their rates, but every penny that I know comes into the city is going to the right places when it comes to taking care of that infrastructure. Some of it very aging, and some of it needs a lot of love and care. And we give it the love and care, and hopefully with enough in the budget, we can improve it to the point where we'll have good water, good wastewater, et cetera. More quickly, Brady, thank you as always for keeping us informed on the mall. I expect to continue to get the full nothing but the truth from you on the mall, and we will, as Commissioner Britton was saying, want to make sure that we're all consistent in our talking points and what we tell people that really is happening there and will happen. And we'll all remain cautiously optimistic about what's going to happen at our mall. So thank you.
Right.
That's it for me.
Okay. Well, speaking of water, we are like this close to the state being ready to give us $18 million. Yes. Our staff and consultants and attorneys have done a phenomenal job putting together all the stuff that needs to be put together. It only took, what, 40,000 emails, right? Something like that?
42,000.
So we should hear soon that there will be a meeting in February, and we are keeping our fingers crossed that that happens. Brent, did you, the numbers on the calls, for the phone calls into utilities, did that go to everyone or just to the city manager and me? Okay. So I'd like, if one of y'all can send that out to the rest of the commission. Yeah, we were concerned about the number of calls coming in. The number of calls dropped tremendously after they did some redo with their phone system, and the number of unanswered calls plummeted. So that was good news. Legislative action days, and the last couple of years, 3 of us have gone to that in Tallahassee. Legislative action days this year are March 24 through 26. March 24 is a commission meeting day.
I'll go to Tallahassee for you.
You know I'm going.
We're all going.
So
no meeting.
There are 5 Mondays in March, if that's an option. Otherwise, what I would do is I would probably go up the week before, because that would be my spring break. And
I can't go this year anyway.
So. Okay.
I wasn't.
So, but we take, that's when we take the youth council and the young men and women of excellence, and so I don't know how y'all feel about thinking about moving the date. I don't know if that's even possible.
Not at this point, is it?
I mean, it's not until March, so there's plenty of time.
But we approved this calendar.
Oh, man, stop that. Hey.
I would like to do a trial.
Carrie ready to go.
I'm going. The kids, man.
That won't be the first meeting you missed?
About the kids.
Well, I'm wondering about how many people will miss though. Because Commissioner Thomas wants to go.
Oh, you going? You want to go? Okay, well.
I'm gonna be here.
I would.
Well, just be 2 of y'all.
I'll handle. I'll run.
Just be 2 of y'all.
I just need one more.
Yeah, but you won't have a quorum.
I'll have Sheena vote twice.
So what is the policy on our ability to change a meeting date?
You do it by resolution, so you can change it by motion too.
So we got
You want us to put a resolution together,
So
or?
you just cancel a meeting, call the other one a special meeting. That's probably the best way to do it.
Okay, so can staff look at that and see if there are any issues with it. Planning probably wants to look at that in terms of calendar and see if it would be possible for us to move the March 24 meeting to March 31.
You want to do it to the 31st?
Yeah.
Well, one thing is clear, not to butt in, but if there's ever a time, year, that y'all need to be up in Tallahassee, it's this year.
For the good it does, but the lack of not going is worse. Yeah, so, all right, and the last thing, a couple more board things. Commissioner Britton, you are on the Central Florida Homeless Coalition. You said something about doing some meetings about homeless. Do you want to stay with that or no?
That's fine. I don't like the meetings, but that's fine. My issues are like right here in Sanford. I don't want to say the wrong thing on record.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'll
Well,
stay
then-
on that board.
Well, then I was going to see if it's okay with you, if Commissioner Thomas
It is
wanted to
absolutely
do
okay
that.
with me.
It is a Wednesday. It's on Wednesdays, lunch, downtown Orlando.
This coming Wednesday?
No, it's monthly. We'll get you the schedule.
Okay, yeah, let me know.
But,
I
and
would love for
then,
you to take that on.
the other one is CalNo, Council of Local Governments.
Mm.
Somebody from each
I
of the
definitely wanna do
cities.
that.
Okay, so I will make you the, lead on that, and I will be the backup.
Okay.
What?
I didn't warn her not to take that?
Hell no.
She did not warn me not to take it, but I have had other good counsel that says it's worth my while.
It's, I think it's good, especially when you're new.
Yes.
Because you get to meet commissioners from other cities and sort of hear how other things are going.
So all I have is the museum?
I believe so.
I will naively put
Okay.
these things on until I know
All right,
everything.
so, Kathy, did you get those?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And
We are adjourned.
I do it as the.
we are adjourned.